So I'll be working from a couple sets of instructions here provided by the OEM manufacturer of the exhaust. So this is actually for the S and the R models of this bike. To start off, I've already kind of began a few places. We're using Allen wrenches here to remove these bolts, specifically per the instructions. So the idea here is we're going to eliminate all this fairing, get it out of the way, to include the bolts up in the upper fairing here. Just remove those. They were super simple to take off. The bike's brand new. It's got like 20 miles on it, so no real issues there. You will be working on a couple, both sides of the bike to remove the fairing. So that's just the initial. So you're going to remove that. And then down towards the bottom here, you're going to have to remove this and then this as well. So I'm assuming as I start to work a little bit more on it and taking away those bolts and fasteners, that's what'll happen next. So next steps are I'm going to be getting up into the fairing pieces. It's pretty dark in here, you probably can't see, but there's a few of these fasteners I need to pop out. You just take a pop or just take a lead and just stick it into the holes, and then they typically just slide right out. So I'll just set the camera up and just kind of show my overall work as I'm moving through. Again, same ones you took out on the other side. Use your punch, it's way easier. So as you can see inside of there, you probably can't see, I'm shitty with this camera. Took all those rivets out, even the rubber band here and all the way down. Goal is, we're taking all that exhaust back there out. We're ripping that out here shortly. So the ones underneath were a little bit more challenging. They're a little different. I don't know if you can see that, if I'm doing a good job. It's a little different, it's just not a push. So basically what I did was, I just got it underneath here, found it, pushed down, the head kind of came out, got underneath the head and gave it a good torque. Came right out, not too bad. Going to get the one on the other side now. So I ran into an issue taking the fairing off. If you can see where my light's showing, there are two more of these connectors here that bring the inner fairings to the outer fairing covers. So you do need to remove these. These are the more the pain in the ass ones. As you can see, there's a slot there. You can slide a screwdriver right underneath it. It'll pop it out. Again, ran into real issues getting this fairing off and found the culprit. Okay, not gonna lie, getting that fairing off was a bitch. So there were a couple other additional pins up inside here they didn't advise us to disconnect. I went ahead and did so. There was also a screw located right here on the frame that they didn't call out to remove as well. So I went ahead and did that. It all came off. I don't see any need to remove the fairing from the other side. That's just kind of no point. So I left it disconnected and loose. I think I have access to everything that I need. If I need to take it off, I will. But I'm going to be primarily working under the bike on the driver's right side. Yeah, so next steps, start working the O2 sensor, and then start working on the biggest lift of the job, which is getting the header off of the block. So there's one screw in there that I've read in many forums. It's absolutely challenging. I've got some tools. I'm going to try to make that a little bit easier. But again, I really don't see no real reason to remove that other side fairing. But we'll see. I'm going to gather some things and then get started on the O2 sensor. Okay, everybody's least favorite thing to do on a motorcycle or any vehicle, and I think in general, is remove the O2 sensor. I'm hoping it's going to be cake work, considering it's brand new. It's 17 millimeter. I was over there looking at standard options, so I'm gonna give it a whirl, and boom, beautiful. Love it when it's new. There we go, it's out. That was a bit much. So that's out. So next steps, according to the instructions, is going to be unscrew the exhaust housing below the brake. So that would be here. I'm guessing I do not have the right Allen. I do not. That will be a... So that was a hex 5, this is a hex 6. That's giving me a problem. That dude is on it. There we go. Got her loose. I don't use power tools. I'm afraid of them. I break shit easy. And we'll bring that guy out. It has a washer. We're gonna put it right here in the pan. I hope you guys can see. I'm not paying that much attention. Alright, go to the next steps. Okay, now we're going to be unscrewing the header. This is a mother trucker. I'm gonna gather some tools. I don't think this is all the way off. I don't think they gave me... It doesn't feel loose. Feels like it's very much connected. At this point, this should be basically off the frame, according to the instructions. I don't agree. I'm gonna confirm by going to the other side and just making sure that there's no other, nothing else I'm detaching here. So I believe there's one on that other side. We're gonna take a look. Nope, that's correct. So apologize for sliding over here. It is trash. So there is one bolt right here, as you can see. It's right there. So we're going after this guy right here. Should be the same spec bolt. Absolutely, bitch to brake, just like its successor. There we go. It's loose. Just get her out of there. Again, I only use hand tools. I don't like using power tools unless required. And as we just saw, that whole exhaust just dropped. And now we're cooking. So we're gonna get some things together and then start working on the header. We'll cut to that. Okay, we're back. So basically I had to take the fairing off the other side. It was huge access issues in getting to where the header was. Long story short, I did have to take that fairing off, which you can see it looked like very much like the other side. Your access is going to be more or less on the left-hand side of the driver. I disconnected my radiator here to give me a little bit more play, a little bit more space to get inside here. Literally doing this with 2 hex 6 Allen wrenches of different sizes. Again, on my hand, I like hand tools. So as you can see, the bolts are located down in there. One is here. There's another one on the corresponding spot. And then if you look up underneath here, there's a few here, and there's one on the other side. So again, you're gonna work a hex 6 Allen. Really slow and tedious to get those off. There was no other way to do it. So I'm gonna work on getting the rest of these removed, and then from that point, I'll drop the exhaust. Okay, so basically, we take that exhaust off, we dropped all the pans, or dropped all the bolts down, which is a pain in the ass. The exhaust truly fell out as one big unit. It's the head pipe, goes right through, it's one piece into the muffler, into the cat, into the muffler. Good thing is that we will still be using the stock O2, so the tune doesn't have to be that specific. Just get that out of here. And we ran into a small issue with the shipping of the other exhaust, so we're going to be delayed a few days. All right, so long and the short of it is I did get the exhaust installed. That didn't come for a couple days. I did not record installing it. It was very straightforward, very quick installation. The only tricky part I would say was putting the fairings back on in specific spots. So, you know, as you put the exhaust back on and you get all those components in and whatnot, you're required to put spacers on some of the fairings. So, and this is just because how far out the exhaust rolls. So you actually have a spacer in this space here on this screw. It's a small silver space. It adds about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch. And then also you have the same spacer back here on this fairing. As you can see, the silver piece right ahead of my finger. Again, this just kind of pulls the fairing, the side fairing, away from the exhaust. As you can see down there in that slot, it fit really good. I mean, the whole thing really came right together. Was very nice and very smooth. So really no complaints. Damn thing sounds great. Love it. Getting the baffle out was a pain in the ass. I actually had to take the muffler off and then slide it over a sledgehammer handle from the front to get it to pop out the back. So again, bike sounds freaking great. Tune works freaking great. That was provided by my good friend Copilot. As you can see here, we got the power commander 6 installed in the back. Ran up here. I ran all the wiring through, down through here, and then it goes up into your all the right components, right? Your ignition, your injectors, etc., etc. So pretty straightforward install on the tuner. I didn't cover that one. It was something new for me. I wasn't ready to do that, but